Bro, I was listening to the new Drake album and there's one song where it goes like, your pussy is calling my name. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage today, and only today we are here. I know it's very unfortunate to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, the next decade actually of Sonic the Hedgehog, the 2020s for this little dude, this guy we enjoy, this character, the series and all that stuff. So before we get into that, of course, y'all know the drill, y'all know the wave. Like the video, do it. I'm giving you 3 seconds. 3, okay, 2, okay, 1. I'm gonna assume you just did it. So like the video, subscribe for more of these videos, and you guys enjoyed these discussions and all that stuff. So let's get right into it. Let's not mess around anymore. So guys, listen. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog, right? I want to talk about this specific statement we have gotten by one of our directors, obviously, Takahashi Iizuka, saying that what kind of gameplay do we need to start building out to keep people excited for the future? Sonic Frontiers is the next step for the next 10 years. We hope that fans believe in us and what they enjoy and what we're showing them. We're looking forward to what they get to play and really understand what it's about. So first of all, in general, it's really clear that the team really, obviously they want people to play their game, but they really are saying like, look man, we've talked to the playtesters, which they mentioned a few days ago, like, we playtested this game a bunch. Like, this is a foundation for us. They're not kind of selling this as here's the next Sonic game. They're like, hey, here's the next decade of Sonic games. So give us a chance here. And I think I wanted to, in a way, branch this out to just a general conversation about the next decade for Sonic. What it's going to look like, what's going to go down, how good it's going to be. Because right now, right, as of 2020 to 2022 and where we could go, things are looking great. Honestly, I think right now we are in potentially, again, I say potentially, what is going to be possibly one of the best decades for the character, and obviously with Sonic, you can never know, it's never consistent, but we're looking at a decade that might be one of the best. Now the reason I say this is because, look, let's look at fact one, right? We have multiple pillars now, right? And we've always kind of had different pillars for Sonic, but now it's a little more consistent, right? Obviously we have the movies, right? Obviously we have the Sonic movie franchise started in 2020 and has now had its sequel. It was it this year? Oh my god, it's all like forever. Yeah, so 2020, 2022, we've already had 2 movies, and I feel like that's already been sort of the leading story of this decade, the 2020s of Sonic, right? Of like, hey, this movie franchise has sort of come out of nowhere as a big surprise. Obviously we all have the story of going from the ugly Sonic, which somehow found its way back to society, into the new modern looking Sonic that looks super clean and dope. Movie 1 was just a really fun movie that had Sonic in it, and then the sequel movie that just came out really proved that this team gives a shit, and they're trying to make a franchise that really does appeal to the fans, and that shit felt like a Sonic movie, as I said when I came out of that premiere. But yeah, no, I feel like obviously we're already on a good start just on the movie front. We've had 2 movies, really successful, people really love them, both over 300 million box office numbers and stuff, which is really good for that, for a PG-13 kids movie, quote unquote. But sorry, why am I even saying PG-13? The fuck, it's rated E for everyone, I'm pretty sure. But you know what I mean. It's a movie that kids can appreciate, the older fans can appreciate, everyone can appreciate in some ways. So really cool, and we're gonna see more of that. This decade is going to be very much all over this movie franchise. I mean, assuming movie 3 is fantastic, we're definitely gonna get a 4th one. We're gonna see the spin-off series. Obviously we know that they're making the Knuckles show, and obviously it's not gonna stop there. If they're making a Knuckles show, other characters are definitely getting their own shows. I mean, I could totally see Shadow get his own show because fans love him so much. I could totally see Tails get a little spin-off. Amy, whoever, honestly, they can flesh out this universe as much as they want and add as many characters as they so fit, which they've said that. So already on the front of the 2020s for the movie side, we're in a very good position. Then you have, again, more on the multimedia side, you have Sonic Prime. Now, obviously, we haven't seen Sonic Prime as a show, but we already know Shadow's in it, we know Big the Cat's in it, we know Sonic's in it. We already know the animation style looks really clean. It's going to be very fun, so I just think that's also another pillar. Now, obviously, games, big part of this. Let's talk about Sonic Frontiers, which we've been talking about. Sonic Frontiers has the potential to really be a big part of the, the next decade of Sonic, as they're saying. And I think the reason why he says that, and Iizuka says that, is because that foundational gameplay, even if it's always going to be the same in the future sequels and stuff, is still going to be something that, like, is influenced in the games. Like I think we're gonna get a Frontiers 2, you know, where it is like, hey, here's the same principle, but you know, we've changed stuff. We're obviously in different areas, different storyline. Because I would like that. It's felt like it's been a while since we've seen like a 2 from Sega. Honestly, when was the last time we've gotten a 2 from Sega? It's been so. I'm trying to think like, is Sonic Rush Adventure the last like direct sequel? Because obviously, again, we have the Boost games, but they're sort of like solo titles. You know, you've got like Gens, Colors, Unleashed, you know, and Forces, but they're not numbered. So I wonder if Frontiers will have a Frontiers 2. That would be really cool. I guess it depends how successful it is and how much they'd want to keep that name in there. But like, look, man, I really think this idea of, you know, having the open world, having combat systems, having some of the cyberspace levels be like the old school levels is really good. And I think the reason Izuka's also been talking about, you know, Sonic Adventure and how he'd like to revisit that with this foundation they've created with Frontiers is because of that. I think there's so much potential, dude. Imagine like Sonic Adventure, right? But like, instead of the going on the train, you know, to the other areas, you could just run there. You know, you could run from the town to the outskirts and all the other places in the world. That would be so sick. I would love something like that. Or if they in general just made Station Square this like crazy big city that you could really just explore, do a bunch of mini games in, and basically what the cyberspace levels are in this game would be the main levels in Sonic Adventure. I feel like if they're ever going to revisit it, which they've mentioned, and Izuka said the reason why there hasn't been remasters is because when they want to bring it back, they want to make it like, you know, a big thing. They want to do more than just a few touch-ups. I think it could be something like that. And I just think in general, like Frontiers, you could just see, man, go look at a video of Sonic Forces and then go look at the gameplay video for Sonic Frontiers. It's like night and day how much the team is trying, you know, how much the team is doing something completely different, you know, giving a shit about, you know, actual combat in the game, you know, being able to just run around freely, you know, and having it just be so different and cool, and having the cyberspace levels for the more, you know, the Boost formula fan stuff. So a lot of stuff in there, and I just think he is right. Like, I think that for Frontiers and in general 3D Sonic, we have the potential, but with 3D Sonic, we always gotta hold up maybe. And obviously another pillar of Sonic is 2D, right? 2D right now has yet to fall, honestly. You know, we've had Mania, which people really loved. We're getting Origins right now, which even without playing, you could already tell is going to be awesome. You know, from the HD widescreen stuff to the extra modes in there, to the museum content, to the cutscenes. You get like, the gameplay is not going to be broken for Sonic Origins. So we already know that in general is another banger in the pocket of Sonic 2D games. So I just feel like right now that is one of the most consistent things about Sonic, and it always has been. You know, people love the advanced games, obviously the original trilogy. They love the Rush games. There's always been just constant love for 2D Sonic. The only time it's kind of faltered was the Sonic Boom 2D Sonic, but even then, like, I don't even fully count that, obviously, because it's like Sonic Boom, a whole different thing. But yeah, I think in general, like, the 2D games are in the best position they've ever been in, and I hope we get, you know, original 2D games, because okay, Mania was sort of the new stuff with the throwback stuff. Origins is all obviously, you know, the past, and I want to see finally, you know, now that like this team sort of understands what people like about the 2D games, whether it's with the Mania team or Dims or something, I would like them to revisit 2D, especially now that like with Frontiers, I don't think we're going to be seeing as much, or if any, 2D areas, you know, because remember in all the Boost games, you would have these sections for 2D levels, you know, or you would literally have classic Sonic in the case of Generations and Forces. So I feel like it's finally time to, you know, give 2D its own spotlight and keep 3D its own spotlight. And they've said they understand this now. There was even, I think, a recent interview where like Izuka straight up said, like, we understand the 2D segments are not as exciting for people in the 3D games. You can slow the pace down. So I'm glad they're understanding this, like, hey, keep that stuff away, and maybe let's just put that energy into a 2D Sonic game. So hopefully Origin sells super well. We already know Sonic Mania sold super well. And I hope we get a brand new 2D Sonic, whether it's a new Sonic Rush style game, whether it's a Mania 2 eventually, you know, that would be really cool. It's something 2D Sonic is going to continue throughout the decade. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I think in general, when I think of the 2020s of Sonic, you know, which we've already got 2 years of, I'm thinking, you know, Frontiers, sequels, potential remake of Adventure down the line, you know, maybe towards the latter half of the 2020s. More 2D Sonic games, movie franchises continuing to thrive, and also put its influence into the games, which is a really good thing. One of the directors for what's called for the game Sonic Frontiers was saying how, like, yeah, like the combat system in general was inspired by Sonic movie, you know, because he was doing more action, was being more dynamic and stuff, and that inspired them. So I really do hope they have this sort of synergy that like isn't too intrusive, but is intrusive in a good way of like, hey, like let's take what we've learned from here and maybe, you know, spin cycle it, you know, hey, movie, keep taking from the games keep taking from movies, and have this good synergy. So I really do think this next decade, with what we have, what we know, and what's potentially coming through, we have potential to have one of the craziest times alive for the Blue Blur. Also IDW comic books, I should mention that, of course, doing incredibly well. Artists, as always, doing God's work. Fan games are gonna get crazier, so very excited to see what we're getting out of the 2020s. Guys, let me know what you all think. What do you want to see most from this next decade of Sonic? Do you want more stuff like Frontiers? Do you want remakes? Do you want more HD remasters? Do you want more movies? What do you want? What are you most excited for? Let me know, and of course I will see you all next time. Peace out.